Good, happy Tuesday. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Tuesday edition of WRMK News 12. We have a lot of news to get to on this Tuesday. Is Tuesday, October 21st, 2025. Let's get started now. Manchester man arrested after alleged attempt to meet a minor in Kingston. A registered sex offender from Manchester was arrested after allegedly attempting to meet what he believed to be a 13-year-old boy for sex, authorities said. Police said they were alerted by Predator Approaches, a Long Island organization known for confronting suspected online predators. Members of the group traveled to New Hampshire to assist law enforcement in locating the suspect, identified as Michael McBride. According to investigators, McBride arranged to meet the portrayed teenager at the Carriage Town Plaza in Kingston. The meeting, coordinated by Predator Poachers, was part of an undercover operation. However, police said McBride became suspicious and left the scene before any confrontation occurred. When he realized there was no real 13-year-old boy, he drove off, and we politely followed him. It was no high-speed chase or anything crazy like that, but Michael, a representative of Predator Approachers, I called him posing as the boy, and he said he knew it was fake, but was keeping up the charade. Legal expert says such citizen-led sting operation can complicate prosecutions. Jesse O'Neill, a criminal law consultant, said entrapment and evidence collection issues can make cases difficult to pursue in court. For an entrapment defense to succeed, the defendant must show they wouldn't have committed the crime without being introduced by law enforcement, O'Neill explained. And when civilians take these actions, it can raise safety and evidentiary concerns. Police later arrested McBride. He is scheduled to appear in court next week. Manchester mayor candidates clash over homelessness policy in the first debate. Candidates for Manchester mayor squared off Monday in their first debate, tackling issues ranging from public safety to homeless at an event hosted by the Greater Manchester Chamber of Commerce. The debate, held at New Hampshire Institute of Politics, featured Republican incumbent Mayor Jay Ross and Democratic challenger Jessica Spillers. Both outlined competing visions for addressing the city's most pressing concerns, particularly how to handle homelessness. Spillers criticized the city's ban on camping, arguing that it merely displaces people without offering a real solution. We're playing human whack a mole by enforcing some of these ordinances and forcing people out of encampments, Spillers said. I understand concerns with camping, but that's not how we address homelessness at its core. Ross defended suspended the ordinance, saying enforcement is necessary to maintain safety and order in public spaces. It is incredibly important for us to ensure that we are enforcing our laws and ordinance, Ross said. We cannot have encampments downtown or around the city. They are not safe. The debate marked the first major face-off between the two candidates ahead of the November 4th municipal election, when voters will decide whether to re-elect Ross or choose new leadership at City Hall. Sununu weighs Senate bid as New Hampshire GOP race takes shape. A potential comeback from former U.S. Senator John E. Sununu could reshape a race for New Hampshire's U.S. Senate seat, with a decision expected by the end of October. Sununu, who last served in the Senate in 2009, told WRMK News 12 in September that he was considering entering the Republican primary. His possible return has already altered the field. State Senator Dan Innes suspended his campaign soon after Sununu singled interest. The development sets up a possible high-profile GOP showdown between Sununu and former U.S. Senator Scott Brown, who has said he wants to ensure voters have a choice rather than a cleared field. If both men run, it would mark a rare matchup between two former senators from the same state, though not unprecedented in New Hampshire politics. In 2014, Brown defeated another former senator, Bob Smith, in the Republican primary. On the Democratic side, U.S. Rep. Chris Pappas remains the frontrunner for his party's nomination. He faces challenges from scientist Harshma Manars and State Rep. Jared Sullivan, who are running to his left. The race for governor has been quieter. Governor Kelly Ayotte has not formally announced whether she will seek another term, though she is widely expected to do so. Among Democrats, John Kipper, who briefly ran as an independent earlier this year, has rejoined the party and is positioning himself as an outsider candidate. Party strategists say that if a more prominent Democrat plans to enter the race, they would likely need to announce by early next year to moment a viable campaign. United Airlines flight diverted to Salt Lake City after windshield strike injures pilot. A United Airlines flight was forced to divert to Salt Lake City last week after an object struck the aircraft's windshield at about 36,000 feet, cracking the glass and injuring the pilot, officials said. According to the airline, the crew declared an emergency following the impact and safely landed the plane without further incident. Authorities are investigating what struck the aircraft. We are going to switch gears now. Let's go into your weather for today. And the weather today, mainly sunny, high near 65, winds west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies early, then becoming cloudy with periods of rain late. Thunder possible, low 46, winds light and variable, chance of rain 90%. And tomorrow, rain early, a mix of Sun and clouds in the afternoon, high 62, winds south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 100%, rainfall near a quarter of an inch. And that is the look at weather. Now let's go to your morning traffic. Good morning, and here's a look at your New Hampshire traffic update. If you're heading through Manchester, expect several construction zones slowing things down, especially along I-293 and Route 101 near Bedford and Merrimack. Crews are out this morning doing road work, so plan for reduced lanes and brief backups through the morning commute. On Route 101 westbound, we're also seeing construction activity around Milford and Peterborough and eastbound near Raymond and Epping, so take it easy if you're traveling between the coast and the Queen City. Further north on I-89 near Henniker, construction is causing minor slowdowns, but traffic remains mostly green and moving well towards Concord. Over towards the seacoast, expect lane closures on I-95 near Portsmouth and Northampton, with workers on site this morning. All in all, the major highways I-93, I-293, and Route 101 are moving steadily, but you'll want to watch for those orange signs and slow for crews in construction areas. That's your traffic update for now, and have a safe ride, and we will update you if we get any more traffic updates right here for WRMK News. And now let's switch gears. Now let's go into sports. In sports, Boston Bruins game tonight. The Boston Bruins return to action tonight at the TD Garden, hosting the Florida Panthers in a key matchup between Atlantic Division rivals. Puck drop is at 7:30 p.m. Boston enters the night setting fifth in the Atlantic Division and looking to build momentum after a mixed start to the season. The Bruins are hoping home ice will give them an edge as they look to climb back up the standings. The Panthers, meanwhile, have been one of the toughest teams in the East, coming off a strong postseason run last year and continuing to play with intensity earlier in this campaign. Fans can expect a physical contest. The rivalry between these two teams has grown in recent seasons, especially after their heated playoff series. Again, it's Florida Panthers at the Boston Bruins. Puck drops at 7:30 p.m. at the TD Garden tonight. Interlakes Volleyball beats Belmont. Interlakes remains undefeated with a 3-0 win over Belmont. And that does it for this Tuesday edition of WRMK News 12. Thank you for tuning in and watching, and enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Bye.